How important was that sixth game in the second set when you had the 2 break points?
Yeah, super important. I mean, it's definitely one that I was thinking about after the match. 'Cause I did have my opportunities, but when you get up to that level, you have to take those chances. And but also when you're a player of her caliber, you also know how to get back into the points and sort of momentum swings and stuff. So for me, it's just part of the experience of being against players like that again, and definitely I'll put it in my back pocket and remember it and learn from it.
Playing someone ranked that high for the first time in a while, does it give you some confidence to feel like you're probably maybe closer than maybe you even thought you were heading into your next few weeks?
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking at this as almost like a platform to build off of for the rest of the year. Yeah, she's definitely the highest ranked player I've played so far. I definitely felt like I had that match on my racket. Like, she didn't necessarily win it. I mean, obviously she did, but it was like I helped her to win it, or I lost the match. It wasn't that she won it. So, but I'm kind of happy about that in a way. That means that I have a lot I can continue to work on and just like keep going the next few weeks and remember this.
How far have you, since you came back in January, how much regression have you made in your play, in your perspective, being so close to a 53rd in the world?
Well, yeah, I started at $15,000 tournaments and playing against players who had no ranking to suddenly being at a Premier 5, playing girls who were like 53 in the world, and she just came off a title in China. So yeah, it's kind of a steep learning curve, but I feel like I belong on the court out there with players like that. So I just have to remind myself that I belong, and I just have to look at the long-term results and not just focus on, a little blip here and there. Just keep going with it. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know you're touching upon this, but is the word hopeful is to play a match like that against someone so high, and for it to be so close, and like you said, for you to feel like you definitely could have won it. Does it feel hopeful for the future of your play?
Yeah, I mean, it's matches like that give me a lot of hope that I can hopefully get back to competing at that level again. It'll probably be a while because this was like kind of wild card opportunity stuff, hometown tournament. But yeah, it just gives me a lot of motivation to continue, and I'm excited for the next couple months ahead. Yeah.
Speaking of hometown tournaments, Vancouver next week?
Yeah, Vancouver is next up. Sorry.
I was just curious if you have a specific number in mind as far as ranking for like the rest of the, like to reach until the end of the year, or if you have any goal like that in mind.
I mean, I don't really have a specific number in mind. I kind of wanted to see where I would be at the 1 year mark. So January, February, we'll see where my ranking is, and then go from there. I think that's kind of a more reasonable way to go about things rather than get ahead of myself. If I could get into like Grand Slam qualies soon, that would be great. But really, after like a 5-year break, you gotta like take it easy and just roll with the punches a bit. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about how high your opponent was ranked today. Do you feel a stark contrast between that, how she was today, and something like a challenger, let's say? Is there a vast difference for you in the quality of the competition?
I'd say that in a challenger, you can sometimes come up against players who aren't necessarily always going to maintain their level at the same. So I think that's what differentiates a top 100 player versus a challenger level, is that every day they come out, they're going to be consistent with their level of play. So I knew that there was going to be a tough match today, and she's been performing really consistently over the past year. But then challengers, so you still get really tough girls. It's just a matter of like who performs well at what tournaments and when their ranking takes off. So there's not like a huge difference, but it's just that every match here will be a good one. Yeah, if that makes any sense.
How does it feel, though, to be back at a tournament of this level, how much do you feel like things have maybe changed in the last few years, just around you, different players, how you feel, and do you feel like maybe you're more prepared, more mature to handle this situation than maybe you were when you were younger?
Yeah, well, I think I don't take my opportunities for granted anymore. When I was younger, I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of fell into it and didn't really know what I was doing. But now it's like everything is sort of with purpose. I recognize a lot of the same players, so for me, it's not like totally super new. There are, of course, a few new names, new faces, but that's always going to happen with the tour. There's a cycle of players, so yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you're talking about purpose, so you have that conference tomorrow morning. Is that something that's part of your purpose? Like in your comeback, you're doing that. Are you trying to, promote all of that stuff? Is that part of your comeback and your goals, not just rankings, but also getting your message out there?
It's not something I'm consciously thinking about all the time, if I'm honest. When I'm given opportunities like that, I'm very happy to talk about what I've been through and how it might help other people. But I'm not trying to place myself out there as a role model. If that happens, I'm very happy to have that happen. But I just try and live my life as honestly and positively as possible, and hope that everything around me it gravitates towards me like that. And if I can share it with other people, that's a beautiful thing. But I'm not trying to force it, Yeah. Thank you so much. No problem. Okay, thanks, guys.